Okay, guys, I am here right now with our special guest speaker for today. So he is the co-founder of Base Protocol. So please welcome to our show, Mr. Nick Ravanbakhsh. Okay, thank you for coming.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so before we begin, could you say hello to our viewers and subscribers who are watching us right now on YouTube?
Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone here in the whole Nomad Fury community. I look forward to talking to you guys, introducing myself, and introducing you to Base Protocol.
Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first things first, Nick, could you share more about yourself to our amazing viewers and subscribers here who are watching us right now on YouTube?
Yeah, I I've been basically an entrepreneur or tech startup founder ever since graduating college. I've been involved with several different tech startups. Got really involved with crypto around 2016 or so. Started my first project in 2017, and since the whole emergence of DeFi and seeing kind of a lot of the value propositions that DeFi can have for disrupting our traditional financial institutions, I really got to thinking with a couple partners of mine on different ways that could be useful, and we really spun up the idea for Base Protocol. Showed that to the community, shared the idea among friends, and everybody loved it. And here we are today. I'm now a founder with Base Protocol, and that's the project that I'm completely focused on.
Okay, so thank you very much, Nick, for that wonderful introduction and sharing on how you get interested in the crypto blockchain DeFi space, and also on how you ended up being the co-founder of Base Protocol. So it was an interesting story. All right, now my next question for you, Nick, is what is currently the mission and vision of Base Protocol?
So the mission of Base Protocol is to really test the experiment of if a rebasing token can really hold a stable peg for a dynamic asset. For example, we've seen Ampleforth, which is the biggest and first rebase token project, whose whole mission is to effectively peg to the dollar, to create a unit of account where an ample is always pegged to a dollar, which is a little bit simpler than what Base Protocol is doing because the dollar is generally static. Base Protocol instead pegs to the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies at a ratio of 1 to 1 trillion. So all that means is that if the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies is 1 trillion, Base is a dollar. The total market cap of all cryptocurrencies is 1.5 trillion, Base is 150. The total market cap of all cryptocurrencies is $2, or excuse me, 2 trillion, then Base would be $2. So the difference between Base and Ampleforth is that Base is pegging to a dynamic asset, one which, as cryptocurrency enthusiasts, we tend to believe will go up over the future. So Ampleforth, again, is an experiment in seeing if they can create this unit of account stable dollar peg token. The Base Protocol experiment is to see that we can create a token which stably pegs to a moving underlying asset, which is, in the case of Base Protocol, the overall crypto industry. So we always want Base to be tracking that cryptocurrency market. So it can basically act as an index, kind of like an S&P 500, but for the cryptocurrency industry, where basically by holding Base, you get exposure to the performance of all 6,000 plus cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so that's a pretty amazing mission and vision that you have for Base Protocol, Nick. So thank you very much for that. Now, my next question right now is, could you explain to our viewers and subscribers here about the real and positive use cases of Base Protocol, especially your advantages and benefits for users like me?
Absolutely. So the whole premise here, right, is that presuming that Base can get to a point where it is stably holding a peg to the overall cryptocurrency industry, as I mentioned earlier, it gets to act as the really diversified crypto industry index, which can be really useful for all profiles of traders or investors. So if you're just someone who trades crypto already, holding base could be a really good way for you to diversify your portfolio as kind of like a safe haven. It could also be a really great way for anyone new to crypto to kind of start investing without having to do all the guesswork of which altcoins should I buy? Should I be holding Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Chainlink or anything down the list? You could just hold base, which is giving you exposure to the price action of the entire cryptocurrency market, which just makes it simpler for, say, example, your grandma. She wanted to invest in cryptocurrencies and didn't know which ones to gain exposure to. The other, demographic we think this could be really useful for is actually the institutional investors who always want to diversify their portfolios, where they may have holdings in, energy or real estate or in technology. um, we're seeing that a lot of these institutional investors are now having cryptocurrency holdings, and oftentimes these crypto holdings are just made up of Bitcoin, which makes sense as, Bitcoin is really kind of the champion of cryptocurrencies and is seen as the safest kind of blue chip cryptocurrency. However, for these institutional investors, diversification is key. And so we think that base could be a very valuable alternative for them to have diversified exposure to the entire crypto industry. So these are the people that we think that base could really be useful for.
Okay, so at least we've learned from you about the real and positive use cases of base protocol. Thank you very much for that, Nick. And speaking of the real use cases, I have recently watched a video coming from Box Mining on YouTube about rebase tokens. So it's an epic debate entitled "Are rebases useful financially?" I mean, what are your thoughts or opinions on this one when it comes to the rising popularity of rebase tokens and the usage of rebase protocols to create synthetic valuable assets like no other? So, Nick, could you share more about it, especially those for the new players out there who had no idea yet about rebases?
Absolutely. So what really sat at the core of our debate with Box Mining is that he essentially was making the case that rebase tokens aren't useful because they don't provide true exposure to the underlying asset because they're not backed by anything. So, for example, if you look at Tether, Tether is backed by dollars, which can be redeemed with Tether. But if you compare that to Ample, Ample is not backed by any real dollars. It is what we call an algorithmic stablecoin, a token whose elastic supply changes such that it can meet its target peg price. In other words, if Ampleforce target price is $1, but it starts trading at $1.50, then new tokens will be created to influence scarcity to then drive the price back down to $1. Or if Ample's trading at say 80 cents, tokens will be effectively destroyed to then drive scarcity up and bring the price back up. This is how the peg is met. There's no actual dollars backing it. Same thing goes for base protocol. By holding base, you're not actually holding all of the cryptocurrencies in the crypto market. You're just gaining exposure to the price of the overall crypto industry. And so there's going to be kind of a core fundamental dispute there among people who think that, rebase tokens aren't useful because they're not actually backed by the assets which they give exposure to. So as I was talking to Box Mining about this, I recommend everybody watch that debate. It's really good. At one point I basically showed him, how rebase tokens tend to behave and how while Ampleforth can sometimes trade off of the peg, it oftentimes has these periods where it does trade within a good margin of the peg, say between 98 cents and $1.02. For all intents and purposes, that's a good correlation. That's a pretty effective peg. And we've seen the same thing with base protocol, where there are extended periods that it is well tracked to the overall crypto market. And I said that in those periods where the rebase token is stably pegged to its underlying asset, it is presenting a real value proposition to its holders who want exposure to that price. And then I further posed the question to Michael, to Box Mining, um, can I ask you this? Can you name one asset in crypto or outside of crypto that does perfectly hold a peg? To which he was kind of stumped, and he kind of agreed that it's not really something that exists. If you look at DAI, if you look at Tether, these tokens are all, first of all, they require trust that, well, particularly in the example of Tether, require trust that the assets are there to back up their peg. And then in the case of DAI, there are a lot of like collateralization issues and times where even those pegs can get disrupted. So there's truly no perfect system for creating a stable peg to any asset. There's just not. Tether is not perfect. DAI is not perfect. And rebase tokens are simply the next experiment in seeing if we can get something that is good, that is useful, and something that doesn't require the trust that, something like a Tether, or in our case, a traditional financial institution that's running kind of an exchange tradable fund, an ETF, kind of trust that those things would require. We really want to create a decentralized, algorithmic, transparent way for people to gain exposure to these prices. So that's basically the debate, is that some people think that rebase tokens aren't valuable because they're not backed by the asset they give exposure to. But I make the case that there can be a lot of value in simply having that price exposure.
Okay, so at least we've learned from you that rebase tokens are very useful, especially that you have enlightened Box Mining and also the rest of the community. And for those who didn't understand about rebase, okay, so thank you very much for explaining to that. Okay, especially to all of the viewers and subscribers here on YouTube. I hope you guys are learning right now. Okay, so now my next question for you, Nick, is who are currently the project partners of Base Protocol?
Yeah, I'd love to share that. Our first and really our biggest partner in this whole project, because it wouldn't have been possible without them, is Chainlink. We partnered up with Chainlink pre-launch to sponsor and co-create the first Chainlink Oracle for total crypto market cap. I think that may have been the first Oracle. I don't think that. I think that Chainlink was the first, and we were right there alongside with them as they made that. And to this day, we are currently the sponsor to that Oracle. And that Oracle is how, Base determines what the total crypto market cap is. Because a lot of people might think, hey, like, where do you get that from? CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. It's sourced from several different data sources, and it all feeds through the Chainlink Oracle, and that's what the Base smart contract talks to. So they're really important. Chainlink's been a great partner to us. We are also partnered with SushiSwap, where you can basically provide Base ETH liquidity on the SushiSwap platform. And through their OnSend program, you can earn sushi rewards, which is really cool. A strategic partnership with Value DeFi, where we've got a Base and USDC liquidity pool. Base was whitelisted by Dharma, which is a really cool platform where users can buy DeFi tokens with US dollar. Mooniswap, we were whitelisted by 1inch. There are a couple of exchanges that have independently listed Base that I won't mention here, but people can always do their own research. And then as of another great partner is PlasmaPay. They're a DeFi platform that has a DEX and deals with lending. Base is going to be a borrowable asset there. Most recently, we announced a partnership with Unilend, who's also going to be supporting Base as a borrowable asset. Our most recent partnership that's been really interesting has actually been with the Wall Street Bets Telegram, and that's really an initiative to help educate the retail community on Base protocol, and more importantly, rebasing tokens and what elastic supply means. Because it's a very new and novel concept, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to educate the community and get them ready for what a rebase token really means. So we've got quite a few partnerships and quite a few lined up and that we have planned for the future. But we're really proud with what we've been able to do in about 3 months now. And we're really looking forward to the rest of the year. And I'm probably forgetting a couple of our partnerships or our integrations, but I kind of covered some of the big ones there.
Okay, so that's a pretty solid partnerships that you have, especially the Chainlink. We are so excited for that, especially the Chainlink Oracle you've said, and also Sushi Swap and the rest. Okay, so thank you very much for that, Nick. Okay, now my next question for you is, what are the challenges that you guys are facing right now these days, and how do you guys cope up with these challenges?
The primary challenge that I would say is really educating the community on rebase tokens and making sure that they understand why they sometimes have less tokens in their wallet or more tokens in their wallet than what they last remember. So, just to kind of, I guess, run through it, as I kind of explained before, all a rebase token is basically a token whose whole mission is to peg to a certain price, which at the moment might be, $1. And if for whatever reason that token trades up and goes up above $1 to $2, the peg is now disrupted because the token is not $1. So at a certain point in the day, a rebase is going to happen, which is going to change the supply of the token, make the price come back down to $1. It's going to increase the supply to make the price come down to $1. But the same can happen otherwise. The token's supposed to trade at $1, but it's now trading at 50 cents. Tokens will be destroyed at a certain point in the day, drive price back up to $1. This is how the peg is held stable. But a lot of people don't understand this. A rebase token basically moves volatility from price over to supply. People need to understand that equation. And it's really, really, I'd say that's been the biggest challenge, is making sure that the community is educated on that. But at Base Protocol, we've got a really awesome community that goes above and beyond to really help teach people, especially new people, kind of how that all works as they come in and join our Telegram and things like that. But that's the biggest challenge. We're making materials for that. We've got a YouTube series planned, and we do the best that we can to circulate good information.
Okay, at least we've learned from you about the recent challenges that you have these days and how you guys cope up with that. And also, I will be looking forward to your YouTube series, by the way, Nick. Okay, yeah, so thank you very much for that. Okay, now, the next question is something that most of the viewers and subscribers here on YouTube are looking forward to these days. So now here's the question. Do you have any spoilers, exciting updates, and future plans for Base Protocol and its community, especially those who are still new into this platform?
Well, when is this video going to be released?
Okay, as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got we are working on quite a few things. As of 2 days ago, we started our first power sprint. It's a 7-day period where we're going to announce a new update, partnership, or community reward every day of the sprint. We are 2 days into that sprint. On day 1, we announced our partnership with Unilend to offer Base as a borrowable asset. On day 2, which was yesterday, we announced our collaboration with Wall Street Bets, the Wall Street Bets Telegram, to really kind of educate a new community on Base and rebasing. And today's day 3. So we've got about 5 more updates on the way. I will say I'm really excited to share them, and I suggest that you guys kind of like keep up with everything that we've got going on. I can't spoil anything, but we are in the middle of this power sprint, and it's heating up.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to those exciting updates you have for us, Nick. So thank you very much for that. Now, on to the final question. Okay, so could you share to our viewers here who are watching us right now on YouTube, like, why should they be checking out Base Protocol right now? Like, what is it for them if they're going to use Base Protocol right away? Like me, for example. I am new to Base Protocol and I have seen it for the first time. So give me one reason why I should grab that opportunity, by the way.
So, yeah, it's a great question. As I've mentioned, Base Protocol, its whole mission is for its price to track the overall cryptocurrency market, which may sound valuable to you right now, but also may sound boring or like something you don't necessarily want in a portfolio. But what is important to mention to people with any rebasing token is that before it has really reached its highest threshold of adoption, where people are using it and it's functional and it's creating that value proposition, before it's reached that point of adoption, if you are an earlier adopter in a rebase token, you get the greatest risk to reward, kind of profile. If you believe that base is something which is going to achieve its mission in the future to become the synthetic crypto index, then by really engaging with base protocol now, you would be significantly rewarded in the future through these bonus rebase tokens that happen on positive rebases where the supply expands. It's a very unique system, but one thing I just want to make clear to people is that base isn't going to move perfectly with the overall crypto market in the early formative period. There's going to be a lot of volatility, which could be up and it could be down. But if you do believe that base can achieve its mission, then it's something that you should be looking at, because we are really in the early stages here. And we welcome you guys with open arms if you want to join the community and ask any questions or learn anything else.
Okay, so guys, you have heard it from Nick on why you should be checking out Base Protocol right now. So thank you very much for that. And one last thing before we go, Nick, could you invite our viewers here on YouTube to check out Base Protocol, your website, social media channels, etc. So take it away.
Of course, guys. Yeah, visit baseprotocol.org. That's our website. Definitely check out our Twitter. It's just at Base Protocol. Telegram, everything you'll find in the nav bar of our website. On the top right, you can get to the Telegram, you can get to the Discord. Check out our Medium to catch up with a lot of the updates that we've had over the past 3 months. Like I said, there's been a lot going on. And if you want, go watch some of our stuff on YouTube and check out that interview that we did with Box Mining that Nomad Fury has brought up. We've got a lot of plans to continue with some of the press. So make sure to keep up on YouTube as well. But yeah, baseprotocol.org and at Base Protocol on Twitter. Those are our two main points of contact where you'll really learn about the project and stay updated with everything that we're working on.
Okay, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest speaker for tonight, the co-founder of Base Protocol, Mr. Nick Ravanbakhsh. So Nick, once again, thank you very much for your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Okay, and I would like to also thank you to all of our viewers and subscribers here on YouTube who are watching our exclusive interview with Base Protocol right now. So I hope you guys have learned something coming from Nick. Okay, so if you have any further questions, of course, don't hesitate or think twice in leaving down your comments right here in the video. And one more thing, peeps, for you to stay notified about my latest videos regarding cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and DeFi, just simply smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And not only that, you could follow my social media channels right here or in my YouTube description. Okay, so from my freaking home studio, this is Jeff aka Nomad Fury, and see you all on my next video. Thank you, everybody.